We are at Devoxx Belgium 2018, and with me I've got Gerard. Hello.
Hi Mark, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How's the conference been for you?
It's been great so far.
So you had a session, was it today?
It was yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday
And what,
in the afternoon.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was talking about the streaming APIs in Spark.
Okay.
And the evolution that they have had in the last years. So there was an initial API out there called Spark Streaming, and the community and the technology has been evolving really, really fast. There is a new API out there called structured streaming, which is easier to use. And I wanted to show the attendees what were the difference and when you could use one or the other, or even both together. That's a possibility out there, for example, to train and use machine learning models.
Cool. So why would people use Spark for streaming?
Yeah, so there are many tools out there. And the key thought to use there is the right tool for the job. You have, for example, Flink, Apache Flink. It's very good to treat data event by event. When it comes in, it goes out, I process it, and I give you an answer. You would use the streaming APIs of Spark when you want to achieve really high throughput. So then you have a lot of input. You want to take that input into a cluster, process it, and then give an answer in a really short period of time, but it's not what people call near real time. So we're not talking about millisecond response, but we're going to talk about, let's say, from 500 milliseconds to seconds, minutes, whatever you want, in a streaming fashion. And you're still gaining that capability of looking at the data as the data flows through your system, using the same mindset. And Spark has been really, let's say, successful in the big data space. A lot of people have developed that knowledge of how to use Spark, and now with the Spark SQL, you even address a larger group of individuals, or a large group of professionals that have been in the industry knowing SQL, and now they can use and reuse those that knowledge and capability into big data processing and big data analytics.
So are there common mistakes that developers make in this area?
So the first mistake that many developers make when they enter the area is thinking that everything is running in one machine.
Okay.
And we are talking about big data processing. We are talking about distributed environments, and then typical use case. Somebody wants to get some data from a database. And so they set up a connection to the database, and then they say, with this connection to the database, you are going to run everything in the cluster. No, that's not possible. That connection belongs in a machine. It has a TCP connection, so it has a socket behind it. And that's not what you want to do. You want to, for example, say that each individual machine in the cluster should connect to the database. Then the second mistake they make is that maybe they have a very large cluster and they are all now connected to the same database.
Yeah.
And that what you want to do is to then bring that data from the database on another flow and then join those flows together when you're talking about streaming.
Cool. So if somebody wants to learn more, where do they go for information? Yeah,
so the Spark community is very rich. You have, for example, the Spark project itself, hosted at Apache Spark. We at Lightbend, we hold a number of blog posts and webinar sessions talking about Spark and the capabilities of the technology. You also have there a number of companies, for example, Databricks. They also have an engineering blog that is very interesting to look at. So there are many resources out there, and they are all mostly up to date. There is also a book I'm writing about. I'm writing a streaming processing with Apache Spark, which contains the Spark streaming and structured streaming APIs explained up to the little detail possible. This is very true to the technology, and it's up to date to the latest release of Spark, probably coming early next year.
Early next year,
yeah.
Perfect. So the folks can keep an eye out for that. Gerard, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Belgium.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.